Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, or as we like to say in our family, happy Thanksgiving, because the feast that I've been preparing all day has no animals in it. Special lunch break life today where myself, Erin Riley-Carrasco, I am going to teach you my version, my most favorite vegan pumpkin pie that I love to make at the holidays. And we're going to start off with 4 cups of graham crackers. And I wanted to let you know that I had kind of a tough time finding these graham crackers in the stores, ones that didn't have honey or didn't have dairy. I was able to find these at Fraser Farms. And the easiest way to get these looking like this is to put in a bag. I put in a plastic bag, and then I just take my pounder and I crunch them so that they're nice and thin like this, because this is going to be the basis for our pie crust. And I am going to add 6 tablespoons of canola oil, 3 tablespoons of organic cane sugar, and I have tried different recipes, and this is my absolute favorite pie crust. We're going to add in 4 tablespoons of almond milk, and I just use the Silk unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And I add a tablespoon of vegan butter. I usually use Miyoko's, but every store I went to was sold out. That should tell you guys something. Miyoko's company is absolutely amazing. She has the best dairy-free butter out there with no palm oil. This is a great second. And last but not least, we are going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of just salt. Now, as you're going on this, I'm going to get down and I'm going to get messy. So excuse my hands, I just washed them. But you want this to be malleable in your hands to form a crust. And see right now how loose it is? So instead of this spoon, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to work this to make it a dough. Because it's got to be able, like I said, it's got to be malleable. It's got to have the moisture to be able to form the basis for our pumpkin pie filling in the bowl. And I found, a lot of these recipes, and I tried out several, and again, this is my favorite. I found that I ended up having to add a little bit more moisture than some of the recipes call for. I don't know why. I added a little bit more butter at Thanksgiving, vegan butter. I add a little bit more oil, and I add a little bit more butter to the recipe to make it, again, so that it's like this, right? And even here, though, you can see, for me, it's just not enough moisture. So it's going to be messy. I'm going to add a little bit more soy milk, vegan almond milk, one of my family's favorites, and keep working this. It can be a little time consuming, but it's so worth it at the end. I'm going to add a little bit more vegan butter. Let's see how we do if we get that moisture, because again, we are going to need this to fill our pie pan. And at this point, there we go. See how it's coming together? That's what you want. And I'm putting all my muscles into this. At this point, I am going to take this and I'm going to put it on my cutting board. I actually heard that doing this on the straight granite is actually a good thing. But since I've got the filling to make after this, I didn't want to make a huge mess. But when I say malleable, do you see what I mean? How this is just molding together really nicely, but look at all this loose. I find it much easier to do with my hands than with a spoon. I don't know what your experiences are, but I like getting in there and getting it so that it's the exact consistency that I want it, and that my vegan butter and my salt and my oil are all evenly spread out. This is really giving me a workout today. Okay, almost there. And I hope that as I'm making this, sending out good vibes to everyone. I live in Southern California, and I'm just sending out good vibes to all of our northern friends. Some people who don't even have homes to celebrate Thanksgiving in today. My love and prayers go out to all of you. Okay, we finally have this. This is my perfectly malleable. I can work with that. So you're going to get your pie dish and you just stick it straight in here. And a little trick, again, it can be a little time consuming, and because I've got time restraints today, I am going to show you, yeah, I usually take a little more time because I am sometimes to a fault. I can really just get in there and focus on being such a perfectionist, but you actually want to work up and then down, because you want, as the pie is baking in the oven, it rises and you want your crust up to here. And I like it perfectly even. And a way that I have learned to do that, and I'm doing it in a hurry, in this lunch break live, but is to use my spoon. And the spoon, it flattens the bottom nicely. That's a little piece of graham cracker that I didn't crush very well. And I use the spoon and I just go around like this. And it forms that nice top. I go all the way around. Okay, we've got our bottom. Not the easiest recipe to make live. Got a little thicker over here. Again, I just use my spoon to go around and form the pie crust up on the edges. And then I use my hands to flatten it out. So I think that's pretty good. Now, I cannot put this in the oven because we have our vegan turkey field roast cooking in the oven. So I'm gonna set this aside, but you will put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna wash my hands very quickly. And next is the pie filling. Yummy. So we're gonna start off with getting these out of the way. And the first ingredients, and again, this will all be posted on Jane Unchained, is our 16 ounces of pumpkin puree. And I get organic. I got these at Fraser Farms. You wanna get your pumpkin puree. Whoops. Rico's not dinner time yet. Got a little friend who's trying to get up here. Okay, again, this is organic pumpkin puree. Whoops, I said Fraser Farms. This is Trader Joe's, one of my favorite. Then we are gonna do our 3/4 cup of sugar. We're gonna do our 1/4 cup of maple syrup that I think Rico just spilled. Yum, could look at those pretty colors in there. We do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We do 1.5 teaspoon of my favorite cinnamon. We do a 1/2 teaspoon of, reminds me of the holidays, nutmeg. We do a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. And we are going to mix that together in here, if we can get the camera. Oh, smells so good. The nutmeg and the cinnamon and the ginger together. And next, this is an ingredient that you might not think belongs in pumpkin pie, but this silken tofu, organic, gives it such a smooth consistency. You'll find out after you make this, it is so delicious. So we're gonna add our silken tofu in here. And then we are going to add this to whatever food processor, which for me is my trusty Vitamix. And this makes the inside so smooth, no chunks, and that silken tofu, no chunks. It's gonna be absolutely perfect for our filling. So let's give this a little whirl. Pretty colors. Okay, it's nice and smooth. Look at that. I'm telling you, Vitamix, my favorite. So we're gonna pretend that we just got this out of the oven after 8 minutes. And this is gonna be our second pumpkin pie because I already made one earlier. But I believe that this is all gonna cook. This is not the way that you do it in actual life, but just to show you, you're gonna fill that pumpkin pie puree, all vegan, cruelty-free goodness, and you are gonna pop in the oven for 65 to 70 minutes. Now, I found with my oven, which runs a little hot, I had to do it for about 80 or 85 minutes. It took longer, and it actually, it browned the edges a little bit more than I wanted, but I will show you how it came out. Which I think it came out beautiful. So this is what your pumpkin pie, I just put these little garnishes up here, but isn't that beautiful? These came out, again, a little browner than I'd like, but this is my vegan pumpkin pie recipe, and I'm gonna have the camera follow me around the kitchen so you can see what other goodies I have been making today, because again, our entire Thanksgiving feast is all vegan. So if you follow me in here, we've got Brussels sprouts. There's just 6 of us today, so the portions are a little bit smaller. This, such an easy, simple recipe. You just take about 3 bags of Brussels sprouts. You're gonna wash them, cut off the ends. You're gonna put in with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some kosher salt and pepper. You shake it, and then you put it in the oven for 6-7 minutes. You shake the pan again, another 6 or 7 minutes. You shake the pan again. After about 8 to 10 more minutes, the Brussels sprouts are done. You're gonna look for this brown flavor, and it's absolutely just so simple and delicious. So we've got our Brussels sprouts. I did this recipe last Saturday for Saturday's Snack Down. That is our sweet potato casserole with that brown sugar. I hope you guys had a chance to make it because it's absolutely delicious. We made our mashed potatoes with just adding, oh, I have a secret to the mashed potatoes that my friend who volunteered at a soup kitchen in LA for years told me to do, and I've always done it since, is after you boil the water with the potatoes inside, when you're pouring the potatoes into strain, keep a little of that really hot water because you're going to want to add it back into the pan. It's just good minerals and vitamins. Add vegan butter and you just mash, and that's all you need. You don't need sour cream. You don't need cream cheese. These potatoes are absolutely delicious. So again, they're just mashed potatoes with that hot water back in, a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, and vegan butter. And next, I'm thinking about Saturday sharing my vegan dressing with you. That's going to go in this cute little turkey platter, which I just love. And then we've got our cranberry sauce back here. Our gravy is going to go in little matching bowls. Our rolls is going to be the last thing I'm going to put in before we eat, which isn't going to be for about another 45 minutes. And then let's see how this is doing. No need to eat any dead animals. we are going to be eating the Scardine Holiday Roast. So let's see how it's doing in the oven. Can I take a peek in there? Let's see if I can get some, see how it's looking inside so you can see what it's looking like. Woo, this got wrapped well. My husband did this. Let's see. Oh, it smells delicious. And I don't want to cut into it yet because it's not fully cooked. But can you see what is stuffed right here? Again, this Scardine Holiday Roast. Meatless turkey roast stuffed with cranberry and wild rice. So this has been in for about 25 minutes. We're going to keep in for about 20 more minutes. And to go with that, we also have our tofurkey holiday mouth-watering plant-based non-GMO ingredients gravy. And all you do, this is absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried it, all you need to do is put it in a pot, heat it up on the stove, put it over your mashed potatoes, put it over your field roast, and you've got a complete Thanksgiving dinner. So did I forget anything? Let's see as I'm looking around. If you guys want to come in here, this is the table that I set earlier where family's going to be eating. So I wish, again, so many of you, my heart's going out to my fellow Californians that have been suffering from the wildfires, but sending out love to everyone on this beautiful Thanksgiving Day. I'm thankful for all of you viewers that come on to JaneUnchained and support our mission, which is a kinder, more compassionate world. So in saying that, I hope that you enjoy that recipe. Maybe you can make it for Christmas. Let's go back to that pumpkin pie and give it one more look, because again, I always like to put a little bit of my own finishing touches, but there it is. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Hope you're celebrating with your loved ones. And again, thank you for all your support. Have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you next Saturday. See you in 2 days. Bye-bye.